All right. We are back for our what should have been part two of a smaller, shorter episode, but seeing how part one went, it's pretty long, so I won't make any promises on this one. But this is the week 5 review. We got two games to talk about. We're joined by a special guest. If you're watching on YouTube, this is my sister's dog, Buddy. Say hi, Buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Um, he loves sitting on people's laps and getting right in people's faces and licking their lips, which is disgusting. But well, honestly, I'm a person who lets dogs lick their lips, but he has terrible. He used to have terrible breath. He got a bunch of teeth pulled, and it's not as bad anymore. But his tongue hangs out of his mouth, so he has no control of it now. So he can't get you anymore, which is nice. But he used to just whip that thing on your face, and it was terrible. But now he's just so lovable, and he snuggles with you. But yeah, I've been sleeping with him the last couple of days. He's been wanting to sleep down here, and he loves going under the covers and right between my legs, which is very annoying, but so cute. Joe, what's up with you over these last, God, what, less than 12 hours since I've seen you?
Yeah, no, not much. Team cat over here, so don't have one yet, but definitely not letting dogs give me smooches on the face. No, got out this morning, did some stuff outside. Probably, honestly, going to go right back out there after we're done recording. I got the day off from work, so wife is still having to work, unfortunately. So yeah. So I'm kind of low-key on my own today, which I don't hate. Trying to be productive.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth to all who celebrate. I think I'll be uploading this immediately because I don't see why not. It's early in the day. So, yeah, happy Juneteenth. Especially everyone who gets off work, all the businesses that are cool and let you off. But yeah, besides that, there's not much to really recap of the week. We've already recorded once this week, so let's just get right into this this unfortunate set of games. What we called a must-win, pretty much, was the 2-7 Sky versus the 2-7 Sun, and well, we'll just tell you how it went. Rivers was available after her illness, but Jacy was starting over her. Jacy ended up hitting an open three to start the scoring. Mabrey hits a long one right after. 8-0 run for the Sun, and the Sky call a timeout. Was looking great to start. This felt like what the game should have been the whole way. They mentioned Liv was dealing with an illness along with her ankle injury as well. So by now she's fine with both, but for those who are wondering. And then a 12-2 run for the Sky turned an 8-0 game into a 14-12 game. And yeah, that was about it from there. We didn't have another. I don't think we had another run where like it was all Sun. But Lindsay Allen's back. She got some minutes. Mabrey did hit a long three to have her fourth of the half. She was cooking. And then Nurse hit a buzzer beater three for the Sky. It was 38-36 Sky at the end of the half. We were still right in it. Nothing bad yet. It was a game we still thought we were probably going to win. We just needed to play a better second half after everything that happened after the 8-0 run to start. What were your thoughts on the first half after I let this dog out because he's ramming the door?
Yeah, I mean, we got off to such a good start. You know, it was quick. It was fast-paced. You're just like, oh, okay, this one's a wrap early. On paper, we were like, hey, we match up pretty well with them. Like, inside, outside, like, it was good, we thought. But, I mean, it was a pretty low-scoring first quarter, kind of expected with the talent on both teams that both teams known for, you know, not having the highest shooting percentage in the league. So we knew it was going to be somewhat of a battle. It was just like, I don't know why, and it's always in basketball, but like as soon as you call a timeout, the other team scores immediately. Like I don't know why it happens. Whatever reason it happens, it's like the winning team takes their foot off the gas pedal or something real quick, and then we just never gain back that momentum. I mean, we talk about the scoring in the first half. It was 14-16 after one, and then a little more fast paced in the second quarter with it being 24-20, getting outscored by 4. But I don't know. I mean, Angel was they used Angel Reese differently. And we'll talk about it more as the game goes on, how she ended up. But they used her more as like a point forward versus her typical throw it to her in the post and have her back down, or throw it to her as the top of the key and her just putting her head down and trying to force up a bad shot or something. So I don't know. The game plan, they must have saw something. I don't know if conversations happen within the team like, hey, we need to, without a true point guard with Vandersloot being out, which I thought was going to be another advantage for us because she is such a dynamic playmaker and scorer for that matter. But it's just first half we just kind of got bullied a little bit inside. The minutes in the first half from Diaby weren't special, as we talk about, as will be a repetitive theme over the next 2 games here. But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those in the first half where it was like there was no like urgency, I want to say. It was kind of just like going through the motions, and eventually we'll figure this game out.
Yeah, Mabrey was killing it. 18 points, 4 of 8 from 3 in the first half. Tina had 8, but was 4 of 10 from shooting. And Jacy was nice. She had 2 threes on two shots, 8 points. The bench, though, without Rivers, we didn't use Peters or Morrow in the half. Brown got 8 minutes. Allen got 7. Diaby got 14. It was a total of 2 points in 29 minutes. It's just not what you want. And obviously we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but Brown has been much better than expected so far going forward, but didn't show up in this game right now, at least at this point. Or I don't think she played that well overall, but the whole bench, actually the whole bench didn't play well at all. We got outscored a lot. We'll get to it, but in this game, Peters didn't do anything. Peters and Morrow literally didn't play in the half, and then Allen, Diaby, and Brown didn't score more than 2 points. I think Diaby had the 2 points. Midway through the third, there was a ball clearly out on Liv, and the refs called it on Chicago. I just wanted to put that in. I want to keep noting how bad these refs are, just all over the place, whether it's challenges, whether it's just clearly out of bounds plays, whether it's on fouls. It's just, we just got it quickly in while everyone was screaming that it was clearly off Liv. But yeah, shit like that happens in every sport, but it's getting bad in the W, like overall in every aspect of the game right now. And we're only 10 games into the season, 12 games into the season. Bria accidentally hits Reese and pulls her hair. This was literally reading this, I forgot about it based on what happens in the Fever game. But Bria accidentally hits Reese, pulls her hair, which you don't really notice until the replay, but she apologizes literally like as she's pulling her hair. She's like apologizes the second she lets go. She's like, oh shit, my bad. Reese freaks out and basically starts like not a fight, but like a gathering. Not a bench is clearing, but like a starters gathering tussle. Tina got involved. Bria gets a personal. Probably should have gotten a tech just for pulling hair. You can't do that, but doesn't. Another kind of fuck up by the refs. And then Reese and Tina got offsetting technicals for, I guess, just probably arguing and going back and forth. Again, honestly, it's hard to remember after the Fever game, this incident.
Yeah, no, I mean, Bria tugging hair, I mean, any time you tug hair, any sport, even in male sport, when you're playing football, technically it's like a legal tackle.
Yeah,
so someone's hair is sticking out of their helmet. So, like, it's a huge deal. I mean, it's especially too, if she's up in the air and you yank just right enough, pull someone off balance. Like, yeah, no, it was a big deal. She definitely should have gotten I wouldn't maybe call it a flagrant. It might have been, should have gotten a dead ball tech.
Yeah.
Something like, something simple, you throw it away, but at least you give it the tech. I mean, Bria's been very physical over the last few games. I don't know if it's because things aren't going her way offensively, and she thinks that her way to stay on the floor is to be a little bit more physical and aggressive on players. But yeah, just a dangerous play.
Not intentional. She apologized. She felt bad, clearly.
Angel and Tina more. It was more just going back and forth. Tina is kind of like mom, right? She's what are you doing? Like da 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 da. And then Angel's got a fiery personality, so she's not going to back down from anyone. She's not going to do it. So I thought those two offsetting texts made sense. Thought it should have been either a tech or a dead ball flagrant one, whether it's intentional or not. It's excessive, by the standard of the rule as we talk about. But yeah, it seems like the refs. We'll try not to talk about the Indiana game, but it seems like the refs are either one side of the pedestal or the spectrum of like overcalling everything, and then another side of the spectrum of no, nothing's happening. Like there's no feel right now for the physicality of the games.
Yeah. And we'll get in the Fever game. I actually agreed with some of what they did and how they handled things, and other parts of it were just they couldn't get anything under control. But we'll get there. But yeah, Reese and Tina are cool. I think Tina's cool with pretty much everybody in the league, especially every big. She probably mentors like all of them. They were hugging after the game, so they're fine. Yeah. Ariel Atkins went to the locker room with 2:20 left in the third after Mabrey shoved her in the face. Didn't get called or anything, but that was another missed one. But yeah, we had a chance to take advantage. One of their top scorer went to the locker room. Not the game's top scorer for them, but their season top scorer went to the locker room with 2:20 left in the third for a little bit. And yeah, the end of the third, we were down 5, 59-54. Reese had a double-double with 7 assists. Mabrey had 20 points. She was 5 of 10 from 3. Which is a pretty sick game shooting. You got to win those games. You shouldn't be down 5 going into the fourth with your best player scoring 20 points going into the quarter with 5 threes. They interviewed Mabrey going into the fourth, and she said, "I like how we're fighting back. I think we can do a better job rebounding with rebounds and taking care of the ball. They're also driving it right down the gut, so we need to protect the paint better." And obviously, this being a game of the past that we had to wait to record about. That they didn't stop that just in that game. That happens in every Sun game where we give up wide open layups. It's really annoying. A few more notes in the fourth. It really got away from us. First basket of the fourth goes to a Sky bench player. I didn't remember which one it was, but I only wrote it down because they noted it was 22-2 in bench point advantage. So Haley Van Lith was leading the Sky with 12 points, which was her career high. Atkins was back in at this point. She hit a 3 with 6.5. Left to go up 12. I think that was still in the third. I wrote it in the wrong spot. Angel Reese got her last assist for her triple-double with 2:30 left in the game. Under a minute left, Jacy was still playing hard. She got a rebound and a bucket with down 10 with 43 seconds left. Cool to see her still fighting. Haley Van Lith got her career high, 16, 32-2 in bench points at the end of the game. 78-66 final, Sky win. Top performers, Marina Mabrey, 22, 5 and 3. Like we said, 5 threes. Tina had 19 and 6. Liv had 10 rebounds. Jacy had 12, 4 and 3. And Bria had 5 assists, which was a game high for us.
Yeah, I mean, how the game ended, quite frankly, I was kind of half watching. It was at, on Father's Day, I was at my in-laws. So I was, trying not to be glued to the phone as it was going on. But I mean, it's just big picture. You can't have your starters 25 minutes, 39 minutes, 36 minutes, 29 minutes, 30 minutes, and only 3 of those people scoring more than 6 points. right? We were very like top loaded with our scorers, and you hit the hammer on the nail or the nail on the hammer, like whichever one it is. Like your bench can't have 2 points. This is the first time like losing this game where I've like questioned Mezion's rotations, like outwardly, because we knew Rivers was available but was under the weather. So that was kind of like, okay, she's probably not going to play unless there's like 4 people fell out of the game and she's there break glass in case of emergency. That was probably a decision made before the game.
Yeah.
And then Marshall was still out with her ankle injury for this game, so she wasn't active. And then that means the other 2 were Morrow and Peters. And as critical as we are of Peters, like probably should have played. Whether it was 5 minutes, 6 minutes, Diaby should not be getting 17 minutes in a competitive game. Like she should not be. And she literally almost matched Nelson Adota in minutes. She was 8 off. And then with Morrow, I mean, that's the big one, right? We asked a lot of people after the game. You see it in the comments. People are just begging, why isn't she playing? So Coach Mez said, she missed training camp. She's trying to catch up. She's missing out on schemes and things. Like, I get that for maybe the first 5 or 6 games of the year. But we're getting to a point at this point in the season where if you're not giving Morrow's minutes to Diaby, like that's a conversation that needs to be had. Like Diaby has not shown anything on a consistent manner where she's not just the third center off the bench, right? Yeah. Like she needs to be playing if Tina and Olivia are both in foul trouble, and even then, like you don't really want her on the floor. Yeah, she just. I hate being critical of players, but when you're 2-9 and you get outscored by one of the other worst teams in the league, 32-2 via the bench, like who's stepping up? You put Jacy and Bria in the starting lineup, like who's stepping up?
Yeah, I don't. The injury report for the W and the post game pressers and stuff, they're not like. I don't get all the information, so maybe Morrow and Peters were also sick. Like, who knows? Marshall's the only one that was listed out. But I mean, yeah, Marshall, not Morrow. I hope I said Marshall.
Yep.
Morrow, Peters, and Rivers play. I mean, Peters and Morrow get minutes. Morrow's a lot less, but like, I don't get why you're not playing Peters in this game just to have bodies with Rivers out. Like, obviously, we want Peters to get less minutes every other game, but like this would be the one you obviously need a body. 40 minutes from 3 bench players to get up 5 shots to make 1 is pathetic. And it was Lindsay Allen's like return game, so that should barely count as an option to score because who knows?
Right. She's getting back into the flow of things as well.
All right, let's get on to a worse game.
And skip.
Yeah, we're 2-8 now. We're going into Indiana again to take on the 5-5 Fever with Caitlin Clark. Again, Rivers is on the bench. She's healthy though. Jacy's starting. Bria is still starting for Lindsay Allen. So we'll see how long that keeps going for. First 4 points coming for Liv and Jacy, not Tina and Marina. So we'll see how that we're gonna see how that affects the game. I looked at it as a good sign. If thinking that thinking Tina and Marina could get going. You already have 4 points from 2 other scorers, but that's not really what happened. Liv got 2 immediate fouls after that and had to sit down with 7 left in the first. Not what you want. Rivers checks in with just under 7 to go for Bria. At that point, I'm not sure why you don't just start Rivers. Haley Peters, got to give her credit if we're going to be harsh on her. She scored on a nice backdoor cut. Lindsay Allen got 2 random minutes in the first and sat back down. Honestly, I missed it. I don't even think I noticed it. Fever, we're getting everything they want down low. 6-0 run, 24-18 when we called the timeout. Jaylen Brown, like we were saying earlier, she hit a 3 to end the scoring of the third to only scoring of the third of the first. I don't know why I wrote third. Of the first to put us down 1. Fever were up 24-23. Tina was getting hers. She got 10 points, dominating down low. Natasha Howard was just matching her with everything she did. So not ineffective from Tina, but canceled out from Natasha. Jacy and Cece were just jawing at each other all game for last 2 games, last 5 years, whatever it's been. Liv had a big rebound on Howard, takes her down and gets the bucket, and all the Fever wanted a whistle. It could have been a charge, but honestly, good no call. Love to see a big body play from Liv on a bigger body like Howard. So that's what we wanted. That's what I've been begging to see from Liv all year. Morrow gets her first minutes with just over 6 to go in the half. So from not playing against the Sky with a more limited roster to now playing with just over 6 to go in the half. I don't know. I'm not the coach. It just seems random. But Morrow got a stupid technical foul with 4:45 left for just bouncing the ball and letting it. Like if you bounce it and catch it, it's not a technical. Yeah. But if you bounce it, it goes over your head, it's a technical. Which was, I don't even know why she was mad. It was a foul on the Fever, and she did it.
The Fever immediately all pointed at her, everything, and those refs were like, "Oh, we got to call it."
Yeah, I mean, it's technically a technical.
Yeah,
but I don't know what she was.
And then she didn't play the rest of the game after that. She got yanked. Yeah. So,
yeah, I don't know what she was upset about. That's a dumb reason to get yanked. I don't know if it had to do with that or the fact that we needed to keep up with the Fever physically and scoring wise, and she just probably wasn't going to do that. In this game, spoiler alert for a future game where she shows up, but yeah, 41-33 is the largest lead for the Fever when the Sun called timeout with 3 left in the half. At this point, it's very competitive half for the most part, but got away from us a little bit at the end. But we never had a lead. 47-33 at the end of the half. No fights yet, but what are your thoughts on a first half?
Yeah, I mean,
competitive ball.
Jacy getting the matchup with Caitlin. That's obviously, like you said, been going back since college. So those two are very familiar with each other, know how they play. Like Jacy's guarded her every game. Like even last year as a rookies, they were going at it. Like it's a matchup that Jacy was probably looking forward to, right? Where I'm going to go after her. I'm not going to take a lot of shots today. Like I'm going to exert whatever I can on offense. Honestly, early on, it wasn't that terrible. Aaliyah Boston did miss a couple layups point blank, which didn't help Indiana, but made it, a much closer game than it felt early on. Liv got off to a nice start. The 2 fouls right away, that hurt her momentum because she was starting to look like herself again after the sickness and the ankle injury.
The bigs were showing out.
Yeah, it was.
They have good bigs.
It was a good matchup going back and forth. We got Natasha Howard into foul trouble, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." That was really big for us because she picked up 3 fouls. Guess how many fouls she ended up with? 3. Right? So it was you didn't take advantage there. Where last time we played them, when Caitlin Clark wasn't there, Aaliyah Boston was in foul trouble because we attacked her. And this game, Aaliyah Boston only had 1 foul. Right? So it was just battling inside, back and forth, but we didn't hit outside shots again. That was the issue. We're not hitting outside shots consistently. I mean, just looking at this game, I don't have the first half totals, but overall, we were 3 of 21 from 3. And we were getting open looks early too. We weren't taking step back contested threes every single possession. We were dishing and looking and just not hitting. You're not going to win a lot of games if you can't, score, especially with a team like Indiana, where you never know when Caitlin Clark's or Kelsey Mitchell, for that matter, are going to go off and score in bunches. So the fact that we were competitive and the first half was back and forth, I think what was the halftime? It was
47-39.
47-39. Like you take that. Like you're looking at the scores. You're like, oh, hey, we're in this. Let's
Let's
see what we can do with it.
That's with us giving up a run at the end. So it was more competitive than it seemed by the end of the half. I sound like a broken record, but Tina at the end of the half, Tina 16 points on 5 of 12. I just want to see her shoot better.
I feel like a couple of her lefty hook shots
is good, but I feel like for the shots she's getting, she should be shooting like 60%.
Yeah, I feel like some of her like hook shots are coming off as like curveballs, and like they like don't have a chance of going in when she throws it up.
Or she's just like catching and just like, I'll shoot. I'll just shoot it from mid range. I'm not gonna try to get a layup or make a move. I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah, and we've seen that all year. I mean, again, putting the ball on the hoop, but sometimes the shot selection isn't what you need in the flow of the offense.
I love Tina, and she's a legend, and she's our second best scorer. And I don't know what this team would look like without her, depending on what the return is if we get an active player. But I would love to see what those trades would be, what teams would like her, would want her, and what we could get for her. Because obviously, it's not going to help us besides mentor. So if we can get something, that depends what's worth more, the mentorship or the return,
right?
Because obviously, I'm not dissing her in any way. She's still great, but I still expected like 9 rebounds a game, like blocks, like down low presence.
The age is starting to show.
Yeah, I don't know if it would if she's on a playoff team. I don't want to say she's like phoning it in or anything. I don't think it's that.
It's being the number one option versus maybe being a number 3 option at this point in your career.
Yeah, true.
That's what it is. It's understanding where we've seen games where
I wouldn't be putting my body on the line like crazy for the Connecticut Sun right now in that age either. But I wouldn't be without.
She's getting double teamed still. Like it's not like all her matchups are 1-on-1 and people are just being like, all right, Tina, you score your 20 points. Like, no, like she's still getting double teamed and, pressured. Yeah. It's just, some of the shots are.
I think she's just deciding to shoot a lot more than to play low post.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a Mezion thing. I don't know. But the next highest score after Tina's 16 was Liv with 6. And then Brown with 5. Mabrey had 4 points. She was 1 of 6, 0 for 4 from 3. It's bound to happen. She's been the all-star that we were voting her for, so go vote for her. But she's bound to have a bad game or two. And she's getting Mabrey's getting absolutely doubled in this game as well. She's playing point guard a lot. It's annoying. Stop having Mabrey play point guard. She's not a point guard. She shouldn't be a point guard. She's
less effective being the one who gets doubled on the screen. We kind of talked about it last night on the car ride. Like someone else needs to be running that initial pick and roll. So then when you hit, because we hit the pop very well, right? Morrow, Nelson, Charles, whoever sets that screen, we are always hitting that pop. That pop needs to be someone that can then make a pass or drives or hits a 3. And then if they are driving, then someone collapses and then you're hitting Marina and Jacy in corners for 3, right? Yeah. Marina at point guard, everyone's going to double her. She's not the tallest in the world. What is she, like 5'11", 6 feet, right? She's not the tallest. Yeah.
Yeah, probably under 6 foot, I would say.
So she's not the tallest in the world. She's not the fastest in the world. Her strength isn't, throwing bullet passes out of a trap at half court because she got blitzed.
Yeah, 5'11".
They're not putting her in a good position in this game. They're not putting her in a good position. We've seen her play more point guard over the last couple games. Like Bria Hartley should be playing point guard if you're going to play her. Rivers should be getting reps at point guard. I'm still holding out for Layla Lacan. Still holding out. I know it's a name we haven't mentioned in a week or two.
No, she's not coming yet, but
so it's not there yet. But I'm hoping like that's the point guard that
Lindsay Allen was that point guard before her injury. She was getting assists. She was taking up the ball.
Lindsay Allen's just like falling out of the rotation since she's come back. It's
been 2 games.
2 games. She hasn't. The 2 games that she's been back, like has not done much.
We can talk about so far.
Right. Has not done much.
Yeah, it's Achilles, so hopefully it'll take some time.
Yeah, she's got to ramp it up. But I do think I think getting Marina off the ball again is only going to help her as teams adjust. If they're like, oh, she's going to be point guard, we're just going to take her out of the play completely.
Yeah. All right. So the second half is basically just the fight.
Should we talk about it?
Yeah. we didn't play well besides the fight. That was our best. Under 5 to go in the third. Jacy hits Caitlin Clark in the face. Eye pokes her kind of. Nothing intentional. Just like she was just flailing her arm on defense and it hit her in the face. Happens. Clark is talking shit after. I mean, she got poked in the eye. She can talk shit. Jacy's not backing down, and Clark pushes her. Not hard. Nothing crazy.
To get off me.
Yeah. And then Marina jumps in, hip checks her, and Caitlin Clark takes a bump like she's fucking Dolph Ziggler. Only Joe will get that reference, and Randy. But that's a guy in wrestling who will fall all over the place and make you look like $1 million on the other end. Yeah, she took a punch from Prime Tyson, is what I've been saying, or like got hit by a truck. Like she went down like a ton of bricks from a hip check. Like, holy shit, relax. And everyone's saying CC should be ejected on the broadcast. Just the worst broadcast I've ever heard.
So initially, this didn't even start in the third quarter. This started earlier in the second quarter. Jacy and Caitlin got tangled up. Caitlin pushed off. Jacy goes up to the ref. It's like, she's literally pushing off on me. What do you want me to do? Like, fortunately, I'm very good at reading lips. So, like, this one was pretty straightforward. Jacy runs up to Caitlin on the dead ball and just goes, "You cannot do that." Yeah, and Caitlin's response is, quote, like, "I can do whatever the fuck I want." And you know what? She can. There were a lot of ticky-tack fouls early in that game. I remember texting you being like, "Oh, we got the Caitlin fouls," which, like, is fine. If you're going to call hand checks, if you're going to call bumps, like, you just got to call it both ways. And then throughout that second quarter to right before this escalation happened, Stephanie White had a hot mic, former coach of the Sun, Indiana Pacers, right? Indiana Fever coach. Like, you couldn't really hear Coach Mez or anything. I was trying to see if I was picking up anything from him, but she is screaming at this officiating crew. You need to either start calling fouls. You need to call it both ways. You're losing control of this game. Someone's going to get hurt if you guys don't clean it up right now. Like, she was on them. This was like multiple times within that second and third quarter. And you know what? She was right, because all it needed was a little bit of a fuse. And I forgot to mention, after Caitlin shoves Jacy back, Marina came in and gave Caitlin a little shove. What the ref should have done in that moment is give Jacy a tech and give Caitlin a tech, and everything stopped right there.
I hate that, though.
But
I hate the warning text.
But you know what? But if you give them both the warning text, then it's over. Nothing else is happening the rest of the game. I promise you that. The refs lost control of this game.
I don't know, because they got technical. I mean, they all got technicals for the first fight, and they still fought a second time.
But
it
not
was a different player.
But it was from a different player. But we'll get to that fight. But yeah, so
nothing happened. Then like, everyone's freaking out over a hip check. The only bad thing that happened is Sophie Cunningham later, what we'll get to, like, attacking Jacy Sheldon in revenge.
So it's the sense of Marina running up on Caitlin on a dead ball, whether it was a flop or not.
In every sport, a teammate will do that. It's called having your teammates back.
I agree. But it was a blindside hip check. And it was the second push.
By coming up face to face, blindside?
It was not face to face.
Oh my God.
But it was the second push, because Marina had also pushed Caitlin away when she pushed Jacy in the first half. So, like, I'm saying, so the refs lost control of this because
if you're calling it technical in the first half on that ticky-tack stuff, that would make them look so bad.
It's either got to be a technical, or you're going up to both players and going, "That's enough. Anything else the rest of this game, you're getting teed." Like, there was none of that. The refs just looked at it.
That wasn't going to stop the players, though.
They just watched. So, yeah. So after a 10-minute review.
Yeah, right? I just think at this point you tee up. You tee up. I mean, they should have just teed up Caitlin. They should have teed up Jacy, and they should have teed up Marina, and they did. But they took forever. They didn't calm anyone down. They didn't like talk to anyone. They just took forever, and then they like let it go back up.
Then they let it. Then Tina got attacked because
Yeah, for no reason.
she was wagging her finger, and then when she went down, she backed up. Right, she probably shouldn't have gotten an attack. And then the foul on Jacy, which I didn't really love, got upgraded to a flagrant one. I don't know. I mean, it's she does swipe, she does make contact to the head, like all the rules, but it's like you just got to know in the moment, like she's not swinging at her head and like making contact to the back of her head. She reaches, she grabs, and she pokes her in the eye. I think that might go back to last year when DJ Carrington did that to Caitlin, and they didn't call it a flagrant one. Could have that played a part in that call being upgraded. It was just the fact that it took 10 minutes and the flow of the game after this was completely ruined.
Honestly, I don't even know if Jacy. I don't know. Jacy doesn't even deserve a tech in my book because she got a foul for a play.
It's probably her running up to her and bumping her afterwards, which she did.
You're calling the same technical for a hip check on Marina, Jacy running up to Caitlin shoving Jacy, and Tina wagging her fingers. So the exact same technical is for a hip check, wagging fingers, getting in your face, and shoving. How are those four the same?
Correct, and they're not. And that's why everyone was going crazy, because there was no consistency based on that stuff.
Honestly, I would have been fine if you just call the Jacy foul and a T on Marina and call it a day.
No, it's true. It was overlooked. They were like, we have to get this right. We have to get this right. And again, like I said, it ruins the flow for the rest of this game. And I'll let you continue.
Yeah. Well, the refs didn't even piss me off more than the announcers did. The Fever announcers, we had to listen to this guy, and I forgot to look up the woman's name.
It was Debbie. I don't remember the last name. It's like
she wasn't nearly as bad, but
no.
In the second part, she said something annoying in the Sophie part, but he would just not. Rob, what was it? Boylan?
Was it Peter Boylan? Rob Boylan?
I got to look at my Twitter. He's the Pacers like sub-in radio guy, and he's like the Fever main guy. I want to get his name right so you can all fucking tweet at him. I tried to tag him on Instagram too, but he doesn't allow people to tag him. Pat Boylan. Pat Boylan Pacers on Twitter. Even puts Pacers in his fucking handle. He's like the alternate. So he was just saying, you have to eject Mabrey. And I'm just like, do you want the WNBA to be the softest league? Like, do you want people to not watch? Like, you have one of the best players on the team and in the league, like, should be an all-star, Marina Mabrey, going to get ejected for, like, doing what we wish the NBA allowed, like, a little bit of physicality and, like, entertainment. Like, it's so annoying. You're going to try to eject. And then we'll get to Sophie Cunningham, but yeah, so he wants Marina Mabrey ejected for a hip check. He doesn't think Caitlin did anything wrong. Thinks Jacy is like some thug. It's like, he didn't say that, but kind of implying it. That it's just the most biased broadcast I've ever heard.
Yeah, and like I said, it didn't.
I've listened to John Paul games against the Yankees.
It didn't help that the review was so long because the announcers were just repeating the same thing over and over and over and over, and we were just getting no communication. There was no commercial break during the review. Like it just felt like it was going on and on and on, and just the replay from different angles and replays, and you're just like, I'm sitting here, my wife who knows basketball but doesn't, love it, follow all the rules, know everything. She was just like, why is this taking so long? Marina pushed her. These two didn't like each other. Those should just be it. And I'm like, good, go call them. You should be taking over the job here because this isn't a hard decision.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, is this like a clear WNBA ejection? Like, is this what the league is? Like, he's like stating it like a fact. And I'm like, if she's about to get ejected from this, I'm like writing the WNBA a letter. Like, this is soft. This is going to kill your league. Like, you can't eject players for like having emotions. And then they didn't, and he looked like a complete idiot, and I was laughing. But to continue the game, we did not play well in the third at all. We had a chance to cut it down to 12 to end the fourth, but it got up to 16. 68-52 to end the third. Tina had 20, though, going into the fourth. Great game for her. No one else had over 8. So let that sink in. We're going into the fourth. No one had over 8. Tina had 20. Lead cut back to 12, and then Diaby misses a wide open layup to cut it to 10. So we're still up. We're still down 12, like wide open.
Mm-hmm. Like she short armed it, didn't even get it up.
Like if I attempted the layup with the crowd screaming, that's what would have happened.
Right.
But our last 5 to end the game, instead of Jacy, it wrote Jack. I was very confused who that was for a second. I was like, do we have a Jackie now? We ended with Jacy, Rivers, Peters, Brown, and Liv.
Which also didn't make sense based on
Tina?
No. The fact that at that point, Olivia had only logged like 10 minutes in the game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was weird. Like I know she was in foul trouble early, but like then she didn't play for like a long while.
Yeah.
And then they finished the game with her, and she ended up being pretty much the best player on the floor for us.
Why did we not go Tina and Liv? Were we just admitting defeat at this point?
I have no idea. We must have been.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't write down how much time was left when we cut it to 12.
I want to say it was about like 4 or 5 minutes left because it wasn't. Because
once she missed the wide open layup, it felt like it was over.
So we cut it to 10 with Indiana's bench, like right away into the fourth quarter. And then they burned a timeout, got all their starters back in. We kept up the people we had on the floor who started the run, which makes sense, right? You keep the hot hand on the floor. You have Brown hit a couple shots, and someone else hit a big. I think Rivers hit a big 3, like that bounced, like did one of those bounce backboard rim backboard in, like so. Like you keep those people in, fine, no complaints there. But then like once they went on the run, it was like okay, we're done, right? Caitlin hits the, we'll call it a go fuck yourself 3, where she hit it and that place erupted. That was a hostile territory in Indiana, and they erupted, and every emotion.
Yeah, she acted like she finally won a ring.
Every emotion came out from that physical game right there, and then the Indiana Fever starters were done.
Yeah, after that, Jacy went to take a layup, and Cunningham basically tried to bear hug her and throw her to the ground. Big scrum. Jacy and Cunningham go at it. Cunningham basically puts her hands around her neck, not really choking her, but like grabbing her. Definitely the worst action of the day, though, was Cunningham was like reaching for Jacy.
Alex, it was slow motion. As soon as Jacy got the steal, I literally like, oh, here it comes.
Oh yeah, I mean it was just them.
It was inevitable. It was obvious. It was coming. Jacy was, and you know what? For what it's worth, I mean, I read a lot of comments like Jacy lowered her shoulder. It's like, yeah, she was bracing for impact.
You knew what was happening.
You knew it was coming too, and like Jacy's a competitor.
Even if she wasn't going to tackle her, she was still going to like attempt to like
try to draw a foul, get to the line, whatever. Yeah.
But Lindsay Allen tries to like break it up. She also gets ejected. Like every technical from the Fever, we got 2. Like it was Caitlin, and then it was Jacy and Tina. Or no, it was
Marina and Tina.
Yeah. And then it was, even though Tina didn't deserve it, and then it was Jacy and Allen, even though Allen didn't deserve it. And then Sophie. Jacy barely deserves it. If somebody like tackles you and then you get up and then they shove you like that, like, I'm sorry, like, what are you supposed to be like? No, I'm just gonna leave. What are you, nuts? I'm gonna just steal that from Josh Peck's podcast. It's like my favorite phrase now.
This review took another 10 minutes. They had to sort everything out.
For no reason. Like the game, it was 40 seconds left.
There was 42 seconds left.
Everyone.
17-point game. It was over. It was just you do what you know what you do. You throw out Jacy, you throw out Sophie Cunningham, if you want to give the tech to Lindsay Allen, fine. Everyone was shocked that she got thrown out.
Just do it after the fact. There's 40 seconds left. Just let the league look at it after. Just throw out Cunningham.
Right. Let them upgrade. Just throw them out. Get them off the floor. Get them whatever, and then finish the game. Which essentially was what happened. But after again another 10-minute review. So this officiating crew probably. I mean, I've watched a good amount of games this year, and I've seen teams go at each other physically, technical fouls, whatever. This was probably the worst officiated crew I think I've seen this season. And there's been some stinkers individually that we laugh where that was clearly a travel, or she literally just stepped 2 feet out of bounds and they didn't call. We've seen things, but just the way this game was handled. And you know what? There's no way, Alex, there's no way that the league did not call this officiating crew before the game and said, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be physical. You need to take control of this game early. Set the tone early that this is how you're going to call the game. And it just never happened. It was so inconsistent. And the thing is, it was inconsistent both ways. Let's just take out the technicals and the scrums. It was just poorly officiated all the way around.
Yeah, as most games have been this year. After all the ejections, we finally got to see Ray Marshall come in.
Yes, because the rule, since Jacy got thrown out, the Fever get to pick who they want to shoot the free throws. Tough position for Ray to come in after sitting on the bench for 39 minutes and 13 seconds, but she went 1 of 2.
Yeah, we lost 88-71. Top performers were Tina with 24 and 3. Liv had 14 and 8, and Brown had 13 points. And a Sun career high at least.
Alex, we like Jaylen Brown.
I mean, she's
for our bench.
Surprising so far. If she can put up 13 points like that every now and then, I'll be happy.
I'll take occasional threes and long, good defense. And you know me, I'm biased because I'm lefty. I'm a lefty basketball player. I am a fan of having a lefty on the floor.
Yeah. I'm a lefty in everything, but I like to. I don't see the world in that lens.
It's just a lot of our players don't go left. I don't know if you've realized that. If you have a scouting report on the Connecticut Sun, it's force everyone to the left side of the floor because we do not drive left.
All right, don't tell that first. All right. Well, we play Dallas tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get a win. Here are our thoughts about that on the preview that's already out now. If you haven't listened to the Week 6 preview, I know this is the Week 5 review, but listen to the Week 6 preview now if you haven't already. But yeah, let's get into this week's Week 5 fantasy review. Joe, how do you think you did this week? The teams were I had Marina Mabrey, Caitlin Clark, Ariel Atkins, Camila Cardoso, Natasha Howard, Bria Hartley. You had Angel Reese, Tina Charles, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Sanaya Rivers, and Rebecca Allen.
So I know I probably had a couple really good performances by people, but I also know I had a couple duds. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that you probably had the more consistent team this week.
Do you regret picking Angel Reese first?
I mean, she had a triple-double, so it's hard to argue. I think Rebecca Allen probably ends up being my worst pick overall.
So, yeah, I won this week 168-153. That puts me up overall 3-2 in terms of weeks and puts me up 963-923. Puts me up 40 overall. But in terms of this week, yeah, you could have picked Marina Mabrey first overall. She put up 33 and 18. Tina Charles 27 and 28 though. Yeah, Caitlin Clark had 29, but Reese had 40. So it wasn't a terrible first pick like we thought.
You thought?
I'm going to say we. I'm going to say most of the listeners thought it was a pretty bad pick. But you didn't win, so it wasn't a great pick. But you did get Tina, which helped. Yeah, Rivers didn't play, unfortunately, so you got 0. I'll just read everything. Marina was 33 and 18. Clark 29, Atkins 22, Cardoza 18, Howard 29, Hartley 16 and 3. For you had Reese with 40, Tina with 27 and 28, Boston with 16, Mitchell with 21, Rivers with 0 and 15, and Rebecca Allen with 6. All right.
Like I said, inconsistent.
We both picked Marina Mabrey for the brightest star. I do want to give it to her because she had the biggest game, and because Tina kind of didn't close out the Fever game and kind of in lack of minutes, but or not lack of minutes, but has been resting a little bit. Now that I'm trying to think, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but I don't know. Her numbers are more consistent for fantasy wise.
I think it's probably Tina this week.
All right, we'll give it to Tina, so neither of us get a point.
Yeah, I think it's Tina. Again, consistent between the two games, not one really high, one really low.
We are still at 1 point each. Oh, no, we're at 2 points each. For brightest stars. And then if you listen to our recap, we added another one. Another thing to predict called Another Bright Star, where we pick a secondary player this week.
Yeah, it was just too boring picking Tina and Marina every week.
Which we still will. We'll still battle between those two. And hopefully a third player emerges. But, yeah, we're going to pick a different player every week as well. So go listen to the week 6 review. All right. Now we're going to squeeze this in hopefully with under 25 minutes. But we are going to review our season preview predictions. We're going to do this again at the All-Star break. And this is about a quarter of the way through the season. Let me see if I could share the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see all the stats instead of trying to keep up with me. All right. What do you want to start with? This is the over-under.
To go through.
Yeah, hold on. I got to make it bigger for you guys. Oh, shit. That's just doing that. All right. Our over-unders are not going to look great. We had no idea what this team was going to look like. And, yeah. Joe, what are your overall thoughts on how you think these are going to look?
I mean, I would assume we're going to be off on a good chunk. I think between the roster changing, we weren't sure about final rotations, what they were going to look like. We had a couple injuries and DNPs early on in the season. I think a couple players we're more disappointed with than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, let me pull up the Suns stats right now. So we can see where they are. All right. First, win total, 12.5. You had 15. I had 13. We both went over.
On pace for 8.
How you liking that?
On pace for 8. I'm bummed because, we have played a couple of the weaker teams on our schedule so far between Dallas, Chicago. But we've also had a couple games where we played really good teams tight and then just gave it away right at the end. So it's disappointing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you gonna stay with your over? Or are you gonna go with your under? Or are you gonna switch it to under?
I mean, at this pace, it's hard not to say under.
I'm going under as well. All stars. Do you think we get Marina and Tina in there, or do you think just one of them makes it?
I think Marina makes it. I don't think Tina does. I think the front court this year is really good in the WNBA.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. Just one, Marina. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. They're both going to make it. Our fans are going to show out. Tina's going to put it up. Our fans are going to show out. She's a legend. People are going to vote for her. Let's get her in there. So we're both going to stay the same there. All right, Marina's points per game. 16.5. She's averaging now 15.8. Was just over 17 before. So this is actually a very good number.
I think
over. I had under.
Yeah, I still think we're right there at 16.5. I think that's where she might end up at like 16.3. but I think 16.5 is still a really good number for her. Especially, I'm hoping getting her off of point guard is going to help her with her scoring again.
So you're staying over.
Yep.
I am also going to switch to over. My reasons were last time it won't be on her as we think. That was wrong. 16 players scored over 16.5 last year. I think she can be one of them this year. And I think more players will score it this year than they did last year. 38.5% threes. Let me pull up a reference. I don't know what she's shooting right now. What would you guess she's shooting right now?
I would think she's probably somewhere around 36.
3-point of course, it's not right there. 3-point percentage in 2025 is 302.
So 30%.
Yeah, 30%. Wow. Yeah,
she's had a couple duds where she's shot.
She has to shoot a lot. That's why we went under, I think.
It's the quality of the shots. I mean, I'm keeping her under. I don't think, if it goes up, it'd be very hard to increase it by 10%.
I'm changing mine. I'm keeping mine, but I'm switching the reason. I said just under, but now I'm changing it to under because she's going to take a lot of volume. And you're keeping under, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Games played as a Sun. You said under, and you just threw out a team with the links because I made you.
I'm hoping we get that Chicago pick back.
So you're saying she's going to get traded still?
I do think that she's still. I'd be very surprised if, as a team, we stayed the same for the entire season.
I would be too, but I think she's staying and going to be on this team next year as well. I think Tina's gone. As I think maybe like a Lindsay Allen could be traded, a Bria Hartley could be traded. Don't think a Liv could be traded. I think that's a future.
No, Liv's a building block. Jacy's a building block.
Liv is Liv is proving that she could be useful on a legit team though as a backup.
Yeah, but I think she is someone
to build. Yeah, I hope so.
That her defense has been great. That alone.
Yeah, her length is so awesome. So we're keeping that. All right. Tina Charles, 15.5 points a game. She is at 15.8. So we both went slightly under.
I still think she might end up as under.
I'm going to go slightly under too because she will get, if she does get traded, she won't be the top option.
She's not going to be a focal point, like the focal point, excuse me.
If we're halfway through the season at the All-Star break, if the trade deadline is passed already, I'm not sure if it's probably after the All-Star break, but I'm not sure. But if the rumors are we're keeping her or something, then I'll change it to over. If she's staying, over. If she's gone, under. So I think we'll probably trade her at some point. So I'd have to say
the trade deadline in 2024 was August 20th. It looks like for 2025, it's August 7th. So we're about a month and a half away.
When's the All-Star game?
All-Star game.
Because that's when we do the next one.
Is July, the weekend. The All-Star break is the 17th to the 21st. And the All-Star game is the 29th. Or sorry, excuse me, 19th.
Of the same month?
Same month. July 19th is the All-Star game.
Wait, when did you say the deadline was? August?
No, the trade deadline is August 7th.
Oh, so the trade deadline is a month after?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we won't know. Okay. I'm going to stay slightly under because I think she gets traded. Rebounds per game, 9.5. All right. My reasoning was way off, but we both said under, which is going to be correct.
Yeah. I mean, she just hasn't been rebounding.
She's at 5.3 per game, which I thought it was going to be like 4, if I'm being honest. I'm going to say under, not because of Morrow, but because she's not grabbing rebounds. But yeah, we're going to stay there. Liv, we're going to Liv now. 5. Okay, these were hard to do. We didn't know how much she was going to play. We're probably gonna have to. We both went over on 5.5 points per game. She's currently at 8.9.
The stock is rising on Olivia.
Her average was near 4. Oh, that I was okay. I don't know why I wrote this. This was just notes on why I went over. Her average was near 4 last year, and we'll be back up to Charles. Okay, no, she's a starter. Over. Yeah, we're keeping that right. And over rebounds 3.5. She's at 7.1. Yeah, she's getting way more minutes than we assumed.
She's awesome.
Yeah. Lindsay Allen, who got hurt unfortunately, is now back. 5.5 points per game. She's at 1 point per game. We both went under.
Yeah, injuries set her back. It doesn't look like she's earned her spot back in the rotation completely yet.
I said I don't think she'll fit into the game plan that much. That wasn't the case originally. I thought as the season moved on, we'd go away from her more for the next players we talk about. Obviously, Layla is not going to be there. I think Yvonne, obviously, she's gone. I thought we changed it. I guess we didn't. Oh, no, we added Yvonne because we thought she was staying. That's what it was. But yeah, under still, though. I think she's an assists, if anything. She'll do assists and won't be.
It just depends if she's able to earn her minutes back from Bria Hartley.
Now we have a Jacy, Sheldon, Layla LeCan combined stat. Should we change that to Bria?
No, I think we leave it because this is just where we are in the season. I mean, if Layla comes in and she's good,
true, she will be here eventually.
Because it's nine more days. I'm counting down these days, Alex.
It's only 9. Wow, I thought it was
June 28th, I believe, was the date.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. Jacy's averaging 7 points on her own, so I'm gonna switch to over.
Yep, you can throw me as over as well. Jacy is emerging as that third or fourth potential option, and hopefully she can get a couple threes a game and continue to get like a backdoor layup or a transition. She's one of our few players that runs really well in transition for an easy basket.
Seriously. Assists per game between the two.
We'll keep it as under for now. I think Jacy's only at what, like
2.2.
2? Or is she right at 2?
She's at 2.2.
Yeah, I think it's for now. I'm going to leave it as under. And that's more not knowing what Layla is going to be coming in. Because if she doesn't know the system, she hasn't been here with the team, it's not like she's going to show up and then all of a sudden be playing 25 minutes a game.
Marina is leading our team in assists at 3.8. Then Sanaya with 3.
Yeah, we haven't had, like I said, we don't have that point guard.
It's not good. Not good on the assists.
No. We can skip Yvonne.
Wait, hold on. What did I write for this? Under, I do think the main point guard minutes come from, but slightly under points. Okay, yeah, that should be where our main point guard minutes come from. Under, do you still think over? You think, actually, so if Layla's still average, I mean, if Jacy averages 2, we only need Layla to average 3. I'm gonna go over.
Yeah,
over.
I'm staying over. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I think I said a couple minutes ago that I'd probably switch it to under, but I think I'm going to stay over for now.
Yeah, we just need Layla, who's a 2-point guard, to come in and play and average 3 a game, and she speaks French, so Mezion should be able to communicate with her and get her up to date quickly.
Yep.
Yvonne,
we can just ignore.
Sorry, you did not make the team with a guaranteed contract. Anissa Morrow. I mean, she could be starting for a half of the season. We don't know. These numbers could skyrocket. But right now she's averaging 4.1 a game. We had her at 12.5. We thought she possibly would be starting. That's why Liv's numbers were. We should have. If we knew what we knew, her and Liv's numbers would probably be switched.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But yeah, we went under anyway. I said 9 to 10 points per game. She's at 4. Spoiler alert for next show. She has a career game, but that only got her up to 4. Yeah, I'm still going to say under until we prove to play her.
Yeah, same here. I had her under as well, and I'm staying there because we just don't know anyone on this team. They have a good game, and then they can disappear for the next 3.
And we had very high hopes for her rebounding.
Which she has rebounded a little bit more in her minutes of getting tips and offensive rebounds. But yeah, it's just
Yeah,
we
it's not
had
even.
high expectations
We had
of
high
her.
expectations for her minutes.
Right, and the knee injury again set her back, and
Yeah.
hopefully she can continue to improve.
So we had it at 8. She's at 2.4 right now. Again, she's not averaging a lot of minutes. I'm gonna switch it to under, as I assume you are as well.
Yep.
Wow, nice 8.2 guess for some reason. I don't know why. We got real specific on this one. I said as the season goes on, I think she could be a 10 rebound getter. I hope that's true. But and then we had her splits.
We can just skip that.
Let's see what she's doing though. I'm curious now. She hasn't shot a lot, but she is
under.
Free throw percentage, we had her at 45%. She's at 58. So she's over. You want to keep yours at over? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that ain't right.
That was the last one. I read it because it's big font. It's 70% we had her at. So that's under, way under.
Yeah.
You want to keep yours at over or under?
You're going to stay under. She hasn't shot free throws well. I don't know what it is. It doesn't look good.
I'm going to go under as well. Her field goal percentage, I'll go in correct order, is we had her at 45%. She's at 37.5. I'm going to stay over, honestly. I think she's going to play a lot more as the season goes on. I think she's going to shoot better, get a lot of layups. And her mid-range was again, spoiler alert, in this last game was fire.
Yeah, but she still got blocked a couple times at the rim just because she is undersized. So I'm going to keep it as under for now.
All right. And then 23% from three-pointer. She is shooting 30%.
Yeah, she hasn't taken many, but
hit 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get totals. How many has she taken? 3. 3 for 10. 23%. I'm gonna go over. I don't think the volume is gonna be there like crazy. I think she's gonna hit some open ones. Let's keep the positivity.
Yeah, I agree.
So we went from over. I went to over under. You went to under. Now we're to Sanaya, who we didn't have high offensive expectations for, but man, she can be something. We'll see.
Yeah, her transition to the W has been a lot smoother than I think either of us expected it to be.
Yeah. So we had her at 5 points per game, which I think is a little disrespectful, but she's at 7.1, so it's not like crazy disrespectful. But I said under. I don't think she's going to look to score. I thought she was going to be a facilitator and a defender. I'm switching that to over. You had over. You thought she's going to be at 6 to 7, exactly where she is. Well, actually 7.1. She's a little over that. But I assume you're going to stay.
Yeah, I don't see it getting much higher this season. But she's proven to, hit the occasional 3, drive to the basket. She has a very nice mid-range jumper.
She should get 3 buckets a game.
Grown to love. Yeah.
Field goal percentage, 40%. We both went over. I thought she was going to be a smart shooter when she is. I don't know. I closed out reference prematurely. She is shooting from field goal range 35.6%. So under, but not by a lot.
Yeah, I think actually she's one that could probably get up to 40. So I'm going to stay over. She feels like a gym junkie. She shoots pull-up jumpers that are open. It's
I
a
want to
tough
say she's
shot.
going to end at like 39%. I'm going to go over though, just for the pot. Yeah, I can't go under for Sanaya. 40%. You got this. 35 and a half steals. These were really hard. Her steals and blocks were hard to figure out based on her college numbers and what people get in the WNBA every year because it varies. But 35 and a half. She averages 1.3 a game. The total is right now 13 steals. Do you know how to pace that up quickly for an entire season? We're a fourth of the way through, right? So just times it by 4.
Yeah, technically. Yeah. So 13 times 4, 26. 26 is 52.
Oh, that's way over.
So that'd be over. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's going to crush 35.
Well, yeah, if she's averaging 1 a game, that'd be 44.
True.
And she didn't play in every game. Yeah, no, she's definitely very good, quick hands, good to get a deflection and a steal at least once or twice a game.
Yeah, the next year, the preseason over-unders are going to be a lot better.
We'll have more of a reference with our team.
It would have been a lot better if we kept the team we had last year, and I could go off of players who actually had numbers.
Right.
So we're both going to stay over. Sanaya Rivers blocks, we have 22 and a half. She averages 0.7.
She's had a couple loud blocks.
Yeah. 0.7, which is 7 blocks a game. So that's 28. So she's still on pace for over.
I'm still going to say under. Just because.
I said she'd probably be in less position to get as many blocks. I'm changing it. She's going over. She's a defensive stud.
Oh, no.
Well, this was just whoever makes the team as the second or the third big between Diaby and Camilla. So it ended up being Diaby. Thankfully, at least one of them made the team out of these 3. 2 of them out of the 3. Rhea Marshall, Camilla, and Diaby combined stats. 3.5 points, 3.5 rebounds. I still don't get why we're not hitting the overs here. We don't have bigs like play Rhea Marshall. I know she was hurt. I shouldn't be bitching that much. But she doesn't play when she is healthy. She's literally averaging zeros. Where is she? 0.4, 2.6 rebounds, and 0.6 assists. So the fact that she's averaging 2.6 rebounds is close to the 3.5. And Diaby is 1.3 rebounds. So they're actually over. And then the points, Diaby averages 2.5. And Rhea is 0.4. So they're just under.
I just think, I don't know. Diaby just doesn't do it for me anymore. I know with her, my reactions have kind of been a roller coaster up and down. But just kind of watching her defense, and she does not move well at all on defense in like help side rotation, where I think Rhea could excel maybe a little bit more with a little more opportunity. But again, she's coming off injury. I'm sure she's ramping everything back up in practices and whatnot. And, she's a project. Rhea is definitely a project. But, I'm going to stay under for both right now. I know it's right there over, but I just don't have faith in Diaby as our third big.
I'm going to say over. I just think Rhea gets more minutes as the season goes on. She's already averaging 2 rebounds with doing nothing. So I think she can at least get the rebounds on her own with consistent playing time. Points, I'm shocked it's even close now. So if she gets any playing time, she should score a bucket a game. Rhea.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hopefully optimistically keep it at over. All right, quickly run down how we think the standings are gonna go. We don't have to change anything, but we just have to talk about. Well, if you want to change things, you can tell me. We could rewrite it, but we're just gonna go over how we think our predictions went. I have the Liberty in first. I still think that's a lock. Fever in second. I don't love that. Storm in third. I'm fine with that. Mercury in fourth. I'm fine with that. Lynx and Fever, switch those up. Maybe put the Fever in third and the Storm in fifth. But if I just had to make a switch right now, just switch the Fever and the Lynx. If I had to do it, just to put the Lynx in second, I would take the Fever in fifth just to get the Lynx back up to second. I underestimated them. Aces, I still like picking them in sixth. Dream in seventh, Sparks in eighth, Dallas ninth. That's bad pick. They should have been much lower. They should switch with Golden State, who I have in 13th. Connecticut in 10th, Sky 11th, Mystics 12th. Switch Mystics with Connecticut. But it is what it is. So if I had to do it right now off the top of my head, Liberty, Lynx, Storm, Mercury, Fever, Aces, Dream, Sparks, Valkyrie, Mystics, Sky, Sun, Wings. And then Rookie of the Year. It's still Paige, but I really want to give it to Kiki. I think.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would be upset with you for having her in the conversation. Playoff team right now.
I got to look at their stats right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Or just on the outside of the playoffs. But
I hate, compare. Yeah, I don't know. Playoff team, Rookie of the Year. She's averaging 13 and 9, Kiki. I wish she was averaging 10 rebounds. Paige is averaging a lot of points, though, right now. 13 and 9. I don't know, Paige Robinson. 13 and 9 compared to 17, 4 and 5. Almost 18.
It's still Paige.
They're just going to give it to her regardless. And I'm happy. It's Paige. I love Paige, so... But I honestly think Kiki's better right now. I don't know, better, just more impressive. I'll switch it to Kiki right now. I'll switch it to Kiki, and then we'll see where we are at halfway. And I'll probably switch it back. Most improved player could be Marina Mabrey. It's definitely not Aaliyah Edwards. I'm going to switch it, though, to Brittany Sykes. That's my pick.
I think that's fair.
I want to double check, though, just to make sure she was not averaging like 20, close to 20. No,
she was 12. She was 12 last year. Yeah,
she always averaged over 10, but yeah, it's a huge jump. Okay. Brittany Sykes is my most improved player. Coach of the year is right now is Natalie Nasake of the Valkyrie. My sixth player of the year is probably somebody on the Liberty. I hope this is giving you enough time to think about these awards because I am stalling.
Yes, you are.
Because now I actually want to think about it. I was like, oh, we'll just go through it quick. And then I was like, oh, shit, we did awards. Let me look at the Liberty's roster real quick. No. Who did you pick for this? Oh, the two players on the...
I said whoever was on the Liberty.
Yeah. One of the players was like injured before the season.
Yeah, I know. Bad research. Fire the guy from the research department.
Right now, Tiffany Hayes has the best odds, then Cunningham, then Mabrey. I don't get how Mabrey could win Sixth Player of the Year.
Yeah, they're idiots.
This is from May. All right. This is from May. Don't listen to it. All right. Who's... All right, I'm going to skip that for now and come back. Defensive Player of the Year. My MVP is definitely Nafisa Collier. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go Natasha Cloud. And I'll defer to you, and I'll do some research and come back, and then we can go over playoffs at the end if we want. But
yeah, probably not worth it.
No, it doesn't make sense to it. It doesn't make sense to do playoffs for our new standings. So let's go over your standings, and then your awards.
So, are you reading them out for me, or
No, you can go. You can go. You have carte blanche to do whatever you want.
I cannot read that. But
Yeah. Hold on,
so
hold
I
on. Let me
had
figure.
I had the
Hold on. I'll help you.
there we go. I had the Lynx, the Liberty, Fever, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Seattle, Sparks, Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, Connecticut, Washington, and Golden State. I mean, I look pretty good at the top of the list there. Pretty much Minnesota and New York knew were the two juggernauts this season. Phoenix Mercury, I had them at 4, and they're in 3rd right now. Atlanta Dream is the biggest jumper for me. They've played very well, and my apologies for not knowing Alicia Gray's game because she is very good. I knew Ryan Howard was good, but they've both taken a nice jump this year with scoring to go with the two bigs.
She's also up there for most improved.
She should be.
I don't know. Let me look up her. What was she averaging last year?
And then I think I had Seattle somewhere in that middle.
15, 17. She was actually pretty good.
So I had Seattle 6, they're 5. Sparks have been disappointing, but I know they've been one of the most injury-ridden teams this year. A lot of their role players have been hurt. So it's like even though Plum's been playing and Hembury, like they've missed Rakea Jackson for a good chunk of the season with a concussion. Brink's still not playing. So interested to see if they're able to jump up the board. And then obviously the Valkyrie, and we've talked about it, like they are better than advertised, and the role players have been stepping up. My awards, probably saying the same in most of them. Paige Becker's Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year. I still think it ends up being Stephanie White. I think Caitlin Clark being out for that little stretch of games hurt their record, but I still think Indiana's going to end up probably in the 3 or the 4 seed, and I think that's enough.
See, this stretch proved to me why Stephanie White isn't Coach of the Year.
Interesting.
If you can't keep float like they went like 2 and 3 without Clark or whatever it was.
The roster's built around Caitlin. Like,
yeah, but they have Aaliyah Boston, they have DeWanna Bonner, they have Natasha Howard, they have Sophie Cunningham, they have a lot of great players.
Yeah, a lot of good.
They lost to us without Caitlin Clark.
A lot of good secondary players. Yes.
And look at Stephanie White was a great coach with us the last couple of years. We also had like 5 amazing players.
Very true.
So
6th player of the year. I'm still gonna go with someone on the Liberty.
Yeah, can you find out an actual player on the Liberty and stick to them?
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, I search for a Valkyrie player to pick as I look at their box scores and see who their 6th player is.
All right, on the Liberty roster. Let's just throw Kennedy Burke's name out there. That's 6th man. And then looking most improved player, I'm still going to keep it as Angel Reese. I'm interested to see how they use her as this point forward figure versus just a straight up power forward to see if that bumps up her numbers. I know the shooting percentages are still not great, but she's still averaging pretty much a double-double every game. Yeah, so we'll just leave her there for now. Defensive player of the year. Oh, wow. I thought I picked Nafisa as MVP, but I guess I didn't.
No, you picked her as finals MVP.
Oh, right, because I didn't want to give her everything. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm changing that to Nafisa. She's been awesome. I knew she was going to be on a mission this year. I remember squarely saying that in our preview that she honestly could have all the awards if she wanted to. So I think Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and then Minnesota is still my favorite to win the championship.
So run down your standings for me. Are you changing anything or do you like it all?
The only thing I think I would do is move Vegas down a spot and Seattle up a spot. Or I would move Atlanta ahead of Vegas and Seattle and then switch Vegas and Seattle.
So Atlanta.
Because Atlanta's going to end up as a top 5 seed, I think, now.
So Atlanta to 5.
Yep.
And then everyone else down?
Everyone else down 1, and then Golden State gets in over Dallas.
And then just switch them like Dallas to 13.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably 13 at this point, but
So I'll do. So you want Dallas?
okay, I'll give you everything. So it'd still be Minnesota, Liberty. Then I'm going Fever, Mercury, Atlanta in the 5. Then Seattle 6.
Okay.
Vegas 7.
Okay.
And the Golden State 8.
Okay.
Mystic 9.
Okay.
Chicago 10.
Okay.
No, sorry, Sparks 9.
Okay. Sparks 9.
Sparks 9. Chicago would be 11 then.
Is Washington 10 then?
Washington's 10.
Okay. Chicago 11.
Chicago 11. Dallas 12. Us 13.
Sad, but probably true. All right, and I am picking. Who does? Why is it so? Why is there no website that's just dedicated to like 6 women?
Because people don't cover the NBA, WNBA like they should.
I know. Have you ever used Closer Monkey to figure out who the closer is of a baseball team? There's a whole website dedicated to who the current closer is, who the current setup man, and who the current third option is. It's incredible. If you ever need to know. All right, the Valkyrie. Thornton obviously is a starter. She got 35 minutes. Billings 34 minutes. Next was Letica Amare 24. Or no, Burton had 27. Carla Late had 27. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just go Tiffany Hayes. No, there's better players than Tiffany Hayes on their team. Who did I pick for the frickin'? Oh, I was wrong. Letitia Amihir is her name. I said Letica. I'm an idiot. Veronica Burton's definitely not a 6 player.
No, she starts. She's a starting point guard.
All right, it's definitely not a Valkyrie player. All right, my 6th of the year is going to be, drum roll please, I just want to see if she's actually putting a point before I shout her name out. Sorry, I thought.
Thank you for bearing with us, everybody.
Yeah, it's only 5 minutes longer than last episode. She's only averaging 9.3. Fuck it, Natisha Heidemann.
That's a good one.
So that's mine. Yeah. So Joe, run them down. What's coming up on the next episode?
Next episode, we're looking at reviewing the rest of the games of the week. So versus Phoenix, Dallas, and the Valkyrie. Look out for that. And I believe we're going to be previewing next week as well within that review episode. Yep.
Yeah, we're back to normal next week on a full episode of a preview, review, everything like we used to do. We're going to talk about the game we were just at. I'm going to upload a vlog from that. And I'm going to upload the video of going live with yeah, a lot of content coming out from us, so I have to spread it out. And then I have to hit up Danny to see if he could piece together anything from our games. If not, we're going to try to do it in person next time.
Okay.
Because it won't look as cool, but it'll work. For a fact, it'll definitely work where we can edit it. But yeah, hour and a half. Somehow these 2 episodes were the longest ones. Well, this one at least we did a second part when we reviewed. Our stats, our preview. So yeah, just overall another 0-2 week. Well, yeah, I was gonna say at least this one coming up. We got a lot of games in a lot of days. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we do play Dallas and Golden State, so there's chances. But Dallas at home, beat them. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, need to get one. We don't. As much as I don't want to go 0-5 this week, that's the important game. Sorry, I'm like losing it over here.
Just tearing up about this week. He's had enough of these losses. We need to get him a win.
I just want to win.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Have a good one. Thanks, everybody.